Shalom, all praises to the Most High. Anoka said, praise be to the earthly mother, the Pachamama, and all of her earthly angels, the Erkadeshwe. Praise be to the Holy Spirit, the Kahe, in the name of his only begotten Son, Motsah the Lamb, unification to the nation. So, this is going to be a continuation of a video that I did a while ago, talking about the true Exodus. And I hope to continue, because I believe that the Most High has given me some revelations regarding where the Jordan actually is, and that really puts everything into perspective. About a few weeks ago, my brother Dean, he approached me the question, because I told him about haplogroup DE, and the fact that D is related to E, and it's obvious that haplogroup D are Israelites, some of them are, and it's obvious that some of E are as well. So he pretty much said, well, what if E is, Shemitic, right? And I was just like, yeah, maybe not. But I thought about it and I was like, no, maybe that's the truth. So where is the land of Ham then? Where's the real land of Ham? Maybe the land of Ham is not where we think it is, or not fully where we think it is, I should say. Because I do believe that there are, a decent amount of Hamites in the land of Ham. But no, I don't think so. I actually think that Africa is, in large part, Shemitic lands. What do we read in Jubilees? Who got the lands, right? Shem got the hot and cold lands, the lands of 4 seasons. Ham got the hot lands. Japhet got the cold lands, right? So those lands definitely fit some of the lands in Africa. So we're going to start here. And this was funny because this is the fertility temple in Peru. And you have, a bunch of Yangs here. And I just left a comment because this person said, seems strange. Wouldn't think the ancient Peruvians would circumcise. And these statues probably had other purposes, like milking corn or making basins. It's called a fertility temple. So what else could it be? But there you go. When other people look at our stuff and they try to explain what it is. Well, why would the Peruvians circumcise themselves? Like, it's not like they're Jews or something. That's madness. That's crazy. What? So, where we left off pretty much at Mount Sinai, which is Mount Yuyayako, the mount of no water or fake water. And we passed through the desert of the Amalekites, and we went into pretty much this whole thing is the desert of Zin. That's where we left off. And during this time, that is when the Israelites started to rebel, and we had to turn back the other way. Now, I didn't really have enough understanding back then, and I still don't, but I'm going to try my best. But to make things make a little bit of sense, this land had a piece of land, like some sort of land was connected to all of this land at one point. You can see it. You can see that South America was the last piece of land to unconnect from this land. But what's this piece here? This piece here literally looks like the bottom of South Africa. And that's because it is. This land was incredibly close together. South America and Africa. Then you had Kumari Kingdom, right? Let's look it up for those who haven't seen it. You had this land that was here. And the bottom of this land connects to pretty much this part right here. While South Africa connects here. You see, it's all fitting. Australia connects right here. Okay. And this is what I came up with. It's glorious, I know. So you have the desert of Zin. I believe that Mount Seir Mount Seir is just a mountain range. It's not one singular mountain. But I believe that Mount Seir is kind of like this southern part right here, because I looked in South Africa. They have very similar land to the Atacama Desert, which is really red and rocky in the same way, like this part right here. And isn't it weird that the so-called white people covered this land so much? I was just reading their forums, like, oh, Esau is not the white man. I mean, he's not all white, but he's white today. Like, that's pretty damn obvious unless you're not paying attention. What land does he covet in South America? Argentina. What part does he covet in South Africa? South Africa, right? Or in Africa, I should say. This is all his land. That's why he covets it, and maybe he doesn't even know. Right? So I put Egypt over here with Australia. And bro, this is not doing it justice because I don't know how far the distance with Antarctica is. And for those who don't know, Antarctica was not frozen up until recently. It recently froze over. As hard as that might be to believe, that is the truth. It was a tropical area. It was a very hot area, which sounds like Hamitic land, or some of it can be Shemitic, I don't know, but the point is that this was very tropical, very hot, right? So this is my map so far. I think Kumari Kingdom, or India, that area, was given to half the tribe of Manasseh, and then Africa given to Reuben and Gad. Then the 9.5 tribes inherited the Americas. There was also a land. There's not a perfect map because there was a land bridge that connected North America and Russia, and we were also given the land of the Hittites, or the Kitte, or the Cathay, which is China. So we have a lot of land, bro. We have a lot of land. Let's get on with this, because I have some interesting stuff to share with you. Because weren't we taught that Moses' wife was an Ethiopian? And we think, oh, she was a Cushite. But hold up. She's a Midianite. It says it right here. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. When they call Moses' wife an Ethiopian, that's them telling on themselves. Because why would she be an Ethiopian and a Midianite? Ethiopia was just how you said the whole entire continent of Africa. In fact, the Gihon flows through what? Ethiopia. It's not talking about the country Ethiopia, it's talking about the whole continent. The whole continent is Ethiopia. Right? So, Ethiopia does not necessarily mean Kush. The Kushites can be in part of that land, which it seems like they are, based on, let me see, based on the temperate zones of that land. If I can find it real quick. Yeah, the upper part, very hot. And even the map makers, guess what they gave these upper lands to? They gave them to the Hamites. We went over this before. They gave these lands to Hamites. The Middle East, North Africa, those are Hamitic lands. They are. Parts of lands in so-called China, Upper China, or this area, the plateau lands, those are Hamite lands. Some of the lands in India, Hamite lands. Look at all these lands. Now, the only time that lands become sandy is one, they were always sandy from like a long time ago, or two, they became sandy because of wickedness. And that's what happened in the Americas. A lot of this land became sandy because of all the wickedness that we were doing. The coastline of Peru is literally the most desolate place on earth. More desolate than anywhere else, and he said he would make the cities of Judah desolate. So we must do world history. We must look at everything. But yes, the continent of Africa, to me, is mostly Shemitic. That's just what it seems like. North Africa is a different thing. We were in North Africa. We were in the Middle East. We were all over the world. But mainly, we were here in the Americas, in the interiors of Africa, West Africa, Eastern Africa maybe, India, Southern Asia, the Pacifics. That's where we were. We weren't really in these lands up here, but we were over here. Because these are Shemitic lands as well. Right? Spain, that's a Shemitic land. Because these lands were connected to America. So, let's get on with this. So, Midianite, right? Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. No, I'll spray tonight. So, why is she called an Ethiopian woman? Because she's from the continent of Ethiopia. That's why. Of Africa. She's from the continent of Africa, but she is a Midianite. That's for later. Let's put that away somewhere. So, who are the Midianites from? The Midianites come from Abraham. And isn't Africa known as some sort of land of Abraham? Is that not true? So, she comes from Abraham. And not only that, it doesn't really matter who you necessarily marry, as long as you're not marrying among the Gentiles. But you can marry within Shem. There was never any outlaw against anyone other than the Canaanites because of their wickedness. But honestly, after everyone started to get mixed up with the different seed line, I'll just say that, I'm being nice, the different strange seed lines, the most I just said, you know what, just stay within yourselves. But even among ourselves, we're still wicked. So I don't understand that whole thing. I understand being me personally, I want to stay within my own people, but I'm not going to tell anyone else anything else just based on my feelings. It's not in the scriptures. There's a certain sect of people we weren't supposed to marry. The so-called white people, if you want to call them that. Yes, we were not supposed to marry them, as it seems, but we did, and we're here. Who was Moses' wife? A Midianite, a Cushite, or both? See, they're saying Cushite because they're using Cush and Ethiopia as being synonymous. But that's wrong. That's not true. She was a Midianite from the land of Ethiopia. So, one more thing before we begin. Zered, because this is a part that they went into. And wait a minute. They camped in Wadi. Isn't there a mountain in Nigeria called this? Bro, this is gonna be a lot of digging for me. But anyway, what does this word mean? It means some sort of exuberant growth of shrubbery. Right? No, not a brook east of the Dead Sea. Just let's go with what the word means. Right? So I looked up shrubbery in Africa. These are the locations. And Zered was supposed to be near mountains. So it can't be up here. It has to be somewhere in the interiors. That's why I think the tribe of Reuben or Gad, well, I don't know, but I know that we have land pretty much like West Africa, interiors of Africa. That's what it seems like. I think half of the tribe of Manasseh has land over here somewhere. So that's what it seems like. But the reason why I'm saying all this is because I'm trying to find Mount Horeb. Mount Horeb is the one where Moses saw the bush, right? The mountainous area, the shrubbery was in this area, right? And they came from a mountainous area. So I was thinking, well, could it be Kilimanjaro? But I was like, no, that doesn't really fit because I don't know if there's any shrubs here. So anyone who's good at the topography, if that's how you, I think that's the word, in Africa, maybe you guys can help me out. You know, because we're all in this together. We're all just trying to find out the truth. But this is definitely the land of the Midianites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, and the land that Reuben and Gad took a big chunk out of, a huge chunk. Yeah, the African savanna is grassland with some isolated trees and shrubs scattered through it. And this is the parts where it is. So, I don't know, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Let's start. So I'm gonna put this on the side, and I'm gonna like skim through it, and I'll just try to trace my mouse through where I think things are maybe occurring. So, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel." So he commanded them to do so, and then they were acting like some punks, and the Most High got tight, right? How do I turn to the next chapter? I have to really open it like that. That's corny. Hold up. So they're around this area right now. So they're around this area, and they went to see this land, right? Like pretty much up here, from Brazil to, like, I'm guessing Peru, Colombia. This is the land that they saw, and they were scared out of their ass. I already showed you how Machu Picchu is a skull of a giant being, the descendants of Anak. We are like grasshoppers to them, right? And if you look at Legend of the Jews, in fact, you know, let me go to that real quick. Let's go to that real quick. I think I have it open. Yes, I do. Anak. Well, Anak. So these are pretty much the offspring of the daughters of Cain and the fallen, right? Sometimes they go by the name Rephaim because one glance at them made one hearts grow weak, or by the name Geborim, simply giants, because their size was so enormous that the thigh measured 18 ills, or by the name Zamzimim, because they were great masters in war, or by the name Anakim, because they touched the sun with their neck. Right, so these are the seed of the fallen. They're not just like the Canaanites. These are literally the offspring of the fallen. So these are giants, like, they're bigger than skyscrapers, bro. And this is what they saw in the land, and that's why they were so scared. And even if you look at different places in Peru, like Sacsayhuaman, bro, that's literally the ground floor that's left. I can't even imagine how big that place was. Those are just the stones that are left. You know? Let me see. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told him and said, "We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of the Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. And the Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of Jordan." They were like giants. The descendants of the Anak came from the giants, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight. Hold up, I'm in the New King James Version? No, hold up. Listen, it's just the lesser of two evils. Did I miss something? Why are they crying? Okay, they were crying. They were weeping the whole night, acting like a bunch of bitches. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, or our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? Everything that the Most High does is a test of faith. You have to remember this. Always keep this in mind, like for real. Do not fall to fear. Don't fall to that. The Most High is your heavenly Father. Do you think that your own mother and father would put you at risk in this way? So why would he? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So trust in the Most High with all things. With all things, for real. With all things. And they said one to another, Let us make a captain and let's return into Egypt. Like, these people are insane. And then this is when the Most High got tight. He was just like, bro. And he's not really tight. The Most High is under control. But he's trying to show that he is displeased. Right? And he has to deal with us because of his own word. You know? But it doesn't seem like this seems like this is Motsah dealing with us, because he made himself into man in order to deal with us. So I doubt that this is like the Heavenly Father dealing with us, because he has feelings. He can get angry, he can get happy, he can get up, he can get down. So I just thinking about this, I don't think this is literally the Most High. I think this is Motsah, who is the Most High made into man. And he said, Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, even until now. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word, but as truly I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoked me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. What valley? This valley, the Atacama. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. So he's pretty much telling them, go back, go back into Egypt, go back into this region. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron, saying, How long will I bear with this evil congregation which murmur against me? And I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, As truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. The Most High is not going to give you a thing unless you prove that you deserve it. You prove it by your loyalty, by your faith. You know, and I'm saying this so I can edify myself as well, because I get weak too. And I need to work on that, and so do you. That's not a good spirit to have. Don't complain. Don't complain about anything, so you won't ever have the spirit. But if you complain about some things, you'll complain about something else. If you get annoyed enough or hungry enough or angry enough, just don't even complain. Don't do it, right? Don't even do it, man. It's not a good spirit to be in. Your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness, and all that were numbered of you according to your whole number, from 20 years old upward, which have murmured against me. Skipping down. And Moses told these sayings unto the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. Just like kids, man. Oh man, you can tell they were tight, yo. And they rose up early in the morning and got themselves into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and we will go into the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Wherefore now do you transgress the commandment of the Lord? It shall not prosper. So he's like, now you're going to further disobey him. Do what he says. This is how the Most High is. You have to prove that you're sorry. You don't just say I'm sorry. Certain things, you have to prove it. You have to go through the fire. If you have proven that you're disloyal, he will not allow you. He's not going to pardon it. He'll pardon it if you do what he tells you to do. But you have to prove that you are loyal. Prove your loyalty above everything else. Prove that you will do what he says. That's the true spirit, And if you don't know how to feel, just don't feel anything. Just be quiet. But don't murmur. If you don't understand something, just be quiet. But I told you guys about the thing with Big Judah. Just be quiet. Why are you murmuring? They're the same damn people. If you don't know how to feel, you don't like it, just be quiet. Pray about it. You're not trusting in the Most High if you're murmuring. What they should have did is cry to the Most High. Ask him for comfort. But don't murmur against him. Don't say that he's something that he's not. You can ask him for understanding and do it in a very humble way. That's what he wants you to do. Please, Heavenly Father, this seems too hard. Please give me understanding. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know everything. Show me where to go. But how could I do this alone? Please show me how if I can. Everyone goes through it, man. Don't be like these people. You're supposed to be better than this. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye are turned away from the Lord. Therefore the Lord will not be with you. So he's pretty much saying, get out of this place now, because you're in the land of the Amalekites right now. So go back where you came from, to the Red Sea, right? Which is somewhere in Antarctica. I believe it's Lake Vostok or whatever. Vostok. Whatever. It's in the video. It's in the video that I did on it. Could be somewhere else. I don't know. But that's my best guess of it being in an icy tundra land. So you'll have to deal with that. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites that dwelt on the hill, and smote them, and comforted them, even unto Horeb. So they came, and they decided to kill them. Because Satan got in there like, yeah, go kill them. The Most High is not going to send them. He's going to take away his protection, and then Satan will do his thing. That's how it works. He's not literally telling the Amalekites to go and do it. He's not like that. But he'll draw away his protection. It's what he did for 400 plus years, right? He took away our protection. That's all he did, and the other nations decided to do what they wanted to do. That's the whole point. Everyone has free will. Okay, so we're gonna skip. We are gonna skip. I don't even know what chapter to skip to. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there, and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and Aaron. Listen, this is the driest desert in the world. I'm just pointing that out again. You guys can look down on them or whatever. That's fine, but make sure. Do you have the spirit of complaining? Do you complain about stuff? Do you overreact to things? Because if so, you're the same. You would do the same thing and worse. So I don't want to hear that. make sure you're cleaning yourself up before you point the finger. Stop trying to take something out of someone else's eye when you have a whole twig in yours. Come on now. Grow up, bro. For real. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But I'm just trying to speak words of edification. But this is Semihaza, or this is Satan getting in their hearts. This is the accuser getting into their hearts. So that Moses won't be able to enter in the promised land after having to deal with these Negroes the whole time. And then he was rubbing his hand like, yes, I got him. Yeah. So you have to have control over your emotions. Full control over your emotions. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptian vexed us, and our fathers. They're in a very low position, man. They're very low, and they're asking their brother, their kin, their twin brother for help. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. So Edom, they had a choice to make here. What was their choice? Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left, until we have passed thy borders. And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. So he was like, you ain't coming by, and if you do, I'm gonna kill you. So Edom refused to give them passage. Right? So they had to take the long way around. So that's why I put Edom right here. And maybe they took the long way and then arrived in this land, the sunken land of Kamari Kandam. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to make sense of this stuff. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. Aaron died. And when Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Horma. So they must be somewhere, like, I don't even know, bro. I don't know, but I know that they're down here somewhere. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to encompass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. Look at all this land that they have to travel. I can't really tell you exactly what the land is, but it's a lot of land. It's a lot of desert, a lot of land. Let me just pause this. So they were constantly complaining. Then they went and pitched in the valley of Zered, which, could be here. I don't know. Right? And then who's here? Moab, right? Moab is here in Africa, because now they went into Africa. They had to take the long way. They were in this land. They went into Africa somewhere. That's what it seems like. So if you guys want to, you can definitely read the story again and, use my map, I guess, and try to trace where everything is. Because that Reuben and Gad, they pretty much said, nah, we kind of like it here. We like all the land. Whoops. We like all the land that we have. So we're gonna stay here. But we'll help you fight Canaan, but we still want to stay over here. And that's what happened. And then you have half the tribe of Manasseh. I don't know how close they were, how far they were. I don't know. But with the connection that the Maya and the Nagas have, and the Nagas with Ethiopia, I don't know. It might just be here. It might just be in that land of Kamari Kandom. So I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. You know, I think I'm not gonna take away that fun. You guys can definitely, you know, I'll upload this. I'll upload this, and then you guys can check it out. So until next time, may peace be with you. Selah Kala.